morning. Sorry. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well today. I'm going to start you off with a little question. Just by a show of hands, how many of you think you know what chronic kidney disease is? Okay, so no one knows. That's good, because I'm here to tell you today, or to inform you today, more about the disease and make you more aware and concerned. A shocking statistic is that 1 in 9 Americans have chronic kidney disease. That's 26 million, or 13% of the US population. The scary thing is, most don't even know that they're living with this disease. You should be aware of chronic kidney disease and you should seek testing. So some of you may be asking yourself, what is chronic kidney disease, or CKD as it's commonly known? CKD, also known as chronic renal disease, is a progressive loss in renal function over a period of months or years. The symptoms of worsening kidney function are nonspecific and might include generally feeling unwell as a result of waste buildup in the blood. This may result in a reduced appetite. Often CKD is diagnosed as a result of screening people who are known to be at risk of kidney problems, such as those with high blood pressure or diabetes, and those with a blood relative with chronic kidney disease. CKD may also be identified when it leads to one of its recognized complications, such as cardiovascular disease, anemia, or pericarditis. At the bottom here you can see a picture of a normal kidney and a kidney with kidney disease. The kidney with kidney disease is obviously quite smaller and the surface is kind of eroded. That's just giving you an example of what it looks like. Like I stated earlier, 26 million Americans have CKD and millions more are at an increased risk. 485,000 Americans have progressed to end-stage renal disease, which requires them to survive through dialysis or the use of a kidney transplant. High blood pressure, diabetes, and family history of CKD are the main risk factors. Ultimately, these factors can lead to heart disease, which is the major cause of death for people with CKD. African Americans are 3 times more likely than Caucasians to develop CKD. Also, Hispanics, Pacific Islanders, Native Americans, and seniors are also at an increased risk. Persistent proteinuria, or protein in the urine, means that CKD is present. This is something that can be determined through one of the 3 simple tests, urinalysis, which I will discuss later in the slides. Early detection can help prevent CKD, and that's what I'm here for to tell you today, to help convince you to be aware of it and take initiative before it's too late. So there are some things you can do to help prevent CKD. One thing is to drink plenty of fluid to flush out your kidneys and prevent kidney stones. A second way is to treat high blood pressure or diabetes if you already have one or the other or both. You need to consult your doctor, who will advise you on the proper treatment and management of these conditions. And finally, make sure the lifestyle you choose is healthy. Don't smoke, avoid any unnecessary drug use, exercise and maintain a healthy weight, and eat a well-balanced diet. So you might be thinking, what can I do to find out if I have CKD? Well, there are several simple ways to check to see if you have kidney disease. The first is the blood pressure test, which I'm sure all of you have had at the doctor's before. Keeping blood pressure under control is critical to lowering the risk of kidney disease as well as heart disease and stroke. Just as a general guideline, if your blood pressure is 140/90 or above, it's considered high, and if it's if a recommended blood pressure is 130/80 or below. A second test is the urinalysis, where a doctor can check a sample of your urine to see if there's high amounts of protein or red and white blood cells. These things are typically not found in your urine, and it can mean a major red flag for kidney disease, especially for those that have diabetes. A third and final test is to do blood work to find the glomerular filtration rate, or the GFR. This is the most valid of the 3 methods, as it specifically checks how well your kidneys are working to remove waste from your blood. So a big reason I chose this topic was to not only inform all of you about CKD, but also because it's something that's close to home for me. Diabetes and hypertension are very prevalent on my mom's side, and both my parents have high blood pressure, and my mom has diabetes. When I was younger, my aunt suffered from end-stage renal failure and survived on dialysis for 3 years until she passed away at the age of 51 because of the many complications that the disease presented her. I can remember going to visit her in the hospital and at the dialysis centers, and it was just horrible to have to see these patients go through this and sit there in the chair for 3-4 hours, 3 times a week, and have their blood drawn. Like many of the patients in the center, my aunt made the crucial mistake to not seek early detection and found out that she had something wrong with her kidneys when it was too late. That's why it's so important to test early so you don't have major complications later in life. Also, every year since my aunt's diagnosis, my family and I participate in the National Kidney Foundation walk in Albany in honor and memory of her. We also raise money for the foundation so that they can financially assist those who are suffering with a disease, or that they can give money to find better medicine for CKD. And this is a picture of me and my family at the walk last year. There are many ways you can help out the cause and become involved yourself. You can volunteer at dialysis centers or hospitals who are always in need of a helping hand. You can actually participate in the walk, like my family does, and show your support through that. And finally, maybe the most important thing you can do is be an organ donor and give the gift of life. Statistics show that approximately 18 people die every day waiting for an organ transplant in the US. Since you really only need one of your kidneys, donation can be one of the most selfless things you can do, and you can help save a life in the process. If you want more information on organ donation and how to be an organ donor, you can visit thedonatelife.net. In conclusion, kidney disease is common and harmful, but it is treatable. There are no noticeable symptoms until an advanced stage of the disease, and early detection and treatment are crucial because they can keep CKD from worsening. Make sure you know your risk factors and be tested, especially if you have a family history of diabetes or hypertension. If you want to know more about the disease and what role you can take, you can visit the National Kidney Foundation's website at kidney.org. Thank you. Are there any questions?
You said diabetes is a risk factor.
Yeah.
Is like type 1 or type 2 more of a risk factor? Does it matter what type?
I think type 2 is more of a risk factor for kidney disease from what I saw in my research. Any more questions?
Kidney transplants, historically, where are we with that now?
Well, I didn't really look into a lot about kidney transplants, but I mean, I don't know, I'm not really sure, honestly.
Okay.
But it's fine.
I guess I'm curious, with the family history, is there anything preventive that you specifically can do? I mean, it's not like high cholesterol, don't eat certain kinds of foods or something.
Well, yeah, you can, well, like I said, you can do things to help prevent it, but if you have like a family history or like high blood pressure or diabetes, it's likely that it's going to be hard to prevent. But there are like certain things you can do, like eat healthier and like exercise and different things like that.
But like you're on at 51 years old, pretty young. There was no option for transplant.
Yeah, she found out like way too late. She didn't even know she had diabetes and all these things. And then like it just led to one complication after the other, and it like wasn't a good situation for her. But
then routine physicals constantly and things like that.
Yeah, and just getting checked up and
gotta be helpful.
getting tested. Yeah.
Trace family history, obviously, with cancer has to do with, with kidney disease also.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.